What's up, guys? It's Emily back again with another Life is Strange True Colors video. The final Life is Strange True Colors video is not actually the final. It's second to final. You know, we still have to play the Wavelengths episode with Steph there or whatnot. But the final of Alex's story and the final episode of the True Colors, narrative there. So, episode 5, that's what we're talking about. Life is Strange True Colors episode 5. So, it starts off kind of like very trippy, kind of like the Life is Strange 1, sequence, the nightmare sequence, which truthfully no other Life is Strange game has even come to like do something like that. And I heard a lot of that was just because they had a lot of content to cut, so they just kind of had to make something up. But it was brilliant, in that game. It worked decently in this game, and then, but you kind of were cutting between scenes in Alex's past, and it just kind of feels like this is an awkward moment to do this, like you're right at the end of the game here, and it's like half, if not like 3/4 or something of like the entire chapter. Now maybe it's just like half. I'm gonna say like half of the chapter. It's a significant length of time. And not that they don't like wrap everything else up, because they do. It just feels kind of weird that we're now getting into this, and so it shows her dad and her mom who was sick and everything, and her brother and her dad fought a lot, and we get to see a lot of Gabe again, and you're like pretending to be these versions of yourself in the past and whatnot, and yeah, I don't mind all of that, but you end the last chapter with this big cliffhanger, then you're not even going to resolve that until like way later on. And the whole point for us to introduce Alex's dad is because spoilers by the way, he's the one that they're trying to cover up in that second mine or whatever. Because like Jed like let him and like a bunch of other people die. I guess like 7 people or something. And Alex finds like the locket, or her mom's locket down there. So that's interesting because she like throws it at him as he's like leaving or whatever. We see like some of the places she was like in the foster system, and like like parents not choosing her and stuff. Like I get it. Like I feel like we could have done a lot of these earlier, and like some kind of maybe 1 per episode dream nightmare sequence to kind of build our main character a little bit, and give her some past depth and whatnot. It just seemed like an awkward place to put it at the beginning of this episode, I mean, that being said, it was somewhat effective. I liked it well enough. I mean, it was decent. I was just more interested in what was happening on the other end of things, which actually ended up being related to the past stuff. So it's just like, and then like the whole her dad thing, it's like, if we had done this throughout the game, I mean, I would have been a little more invested in her dad than just throwing it all at me, 5 minutes before we're gonna like deal with him dying or whatever. So I feel like it would have been more impactful had you split these little scenes out in sort of nightmare sequences throughout the game, kind of thing. And the little glimpses we get of her in between these things is like she's beaten up, she's like bruised, her head is like bleeding and stuff from falling down the mine shaft, which I don't know how the fuck she's alive. I mean, that's fucking crazy. She fell so far. It's a game, whatever. We'll just not criticize that too hard. But, it's just like I get it, and then that gives her more of a personal angle. But I already thought the brother thing was a sort of a personal angle. I don't know. There probably could have been something else going on with the Typhon thing. It doesn't always have to relate back to Alex. I don't mind that it does. I don't mind that it was her dad or whatever, who, you know, it just seems odd. Like, and then she makes a whole thing later about, so like, okay, so then like later she goes to confront them. They're having this meeting about whether Typhon should like expand the land of like the town or something and get like more involved with the town. And basically there's a lot of the characters who you've helped throughout the game, and Ducky, who I've helped like not at all because I never saw him out and about when I was trying to help people. You know, they have like the Alzheimer's grandma and like Charlotte and Steph and Ryan were there, and there's like one other person I'm not thinking of, but yeah, all of them sided with me except for Ducky because I like never interacted with him basically, which is fine. I mean, I'm glad the rest of them sided with me. They're all like, yeah, she's usually pretty astute and nice at this stuff, and she's telling us that you tried to kill her and Typhon's evil, and we have our own experiences with that, so like, we'll believe you, you know. And Steph, I think, was like one of the first ones to be like, I believe you, which is nice, you know, of course. And Ryan's like hesitant because that's his dad, I guess. I didn't remember that was his dad, but I think that's from before Jed was his dad. And Alex makes like this big long rant after everyone kind of ends up supporting her. She makes like this big long speech, and you get a bunch of little dialogue options within there to kind of call him out in different ways if you want to. And at the end you get the choice to like forgive him or condemn him. And I chose forgive because, you know, she does make a good point. He put a roof over our head. He was nice enough to like keep us safe and happy and with a job and all of that. But it's like, at the same time, he is he's responsible for her dad's death and a few other people's death that he's been like covering up this whole time, and then also partially responsible for the brother's death. So it's like, you know, it's just like, that's fine. That's a fine story. You know, it just, we built this up the whole game. It's just like, man, I thought it was gonna be something crazier, you know, like, yeah, they killed a few people. I'm like, okay, that's, sure, that's like evil corporation-y, but like, that's to be expected, you know, bodies in the mines, like, alright, fine, yeah, I understand that, you know, it's not like they were building a nuclear bomb or something. I mean, it's a personal story, and I understand that. It's fine. I don't mind it. It's just, okay, I don't want to really, well, no, I'm not gonna spoil that. Kind of relates to a moment in Inside Out 2, where I'll just say this: in Inside Out 2, there's this like kind of a thing you're wondering about the entire time. It's just like this joke, and then if you stay for the post credits, you actually get to find out about it. That's kind of what it's like. Is it's just kind of not that big of a reveal. Like, you're expecting a big reveal, but it's like, oh, that's it. You know, like, that's kind of. I don't want to say I felt underwhelmed by the mystery, like, ending that way, but a little bit, you know, it's like with Mr. Jefferson and the dark room and all of that, that was like a fucking epic ending. You got a bunch of answers, and you had to like escape him like 1,700 times, and that was a whole crazy thing, you know. That was a good reveal, a big reveal, you know. It's like, here it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, people died. Oh, okay, cool. You know, I don't know. You know, it's like Rachel in a body bag. Like, that's impactful, you know? We hear about her the entire game. She's literally everywhere on these posters, and people talk about her the whole fucking time. And nobody knows who Alex's dad is, you know, other than Alex. And I guess Jed knew, and Gabe knew, but, you know, I don't know. Like, it's fine. It's fine. I do like the ending, though, how you kind of get to make a choice if you want to leave or if you want to stay. I love the part where Steph comes and she's like, you know, I just need to say something. And she's like, I just want to be with you. And she, like, tears up her ticket and she's like, whether that's on the road or here or whatever, and I'm willing to stay. And I'm just like, girl, I already was gonna come with you. You didn't have to tear up your bus ticket. Like, that's... She's like, I can get another one. I can get another one. She's so dramatic. You know, Steph's the best, but, you know, I like that scene a lot. That's funny, you know, and heartwarming. She's just like, oh, I just want to be with you, no matter what, no matter where you are. I mean, I chose to leave. I didn't really watch the other endings. I should have fucking known. Why didn't I watch the other endings? So, with Steph, and then it's like, you know, I'm just playing the song by myself. It's like, isn't she a drummer? Why isn't she up here with me? She, like, texts me, like, good luck, kill it, babe, or whatever, and I'm just like, dude, get up here and drum with me. I thought we were a band, you know? Like, what the fuck? But you have this whole big scene where you're talking to your brother there, and yeah, the other thing is, it's a very one-sided thing he's saying. The whole time he's like, well, you could leave, but you could just stay here, and your music would really impact the town, and you'd be the life of the party and all of this stuff. And he's like, well, but if you want to leave, you know, it's like, there's not a really great scenario for if you want to leave. Like, I feel like I already kind of saw the let's stay ending because he spells that all out for you. Maybe he knew I was going to choose the other ending, but maybe that's the bad ending. I don't know. You know, I don't think there's like a canon bad ending anymore. You know, like in Life is... I mean, shit, Life is Strange 1 had basically both endings were the bad ending. But the bad ending of Life is Strange 1 is the one that took like 5 seconds to... It's like a one scene and then it's just over. And then, you know, it's not like the Sacrifice Chloe one where it felt like the canon ending at the time. They've really expanded and made both endings sort of canon. And apparently Wavelengths takes into account both ways. So I'm going to have to see alternate scenes for that. That's what gets annoying about these games. It's like, I want to see the alternate scenes, but it's like, especially with double exposure, it's just going to be so much like alternate scenes, and it might even be really different if they go hard with the whole Chloe being alive thing, if they do anything with that. And why the fuck isn't she in the game if she's alive? I don't know. I hope that game's good. You know, so, I mean, it's just, like, it was good. It was a good ending. It's just, Life is Strange endings are so big and bombastic. I feel like over time, they've kind of gotten less so of that. Like, the first ending was, like, it's like the coolest ending ever. It took, like, a million years to get through that chapter, but it was fine. It was great. It was fantastic. It resolved everything, and it felt so good, and, you know, all this closure, and you could see all the scenes with the Chloe stuff, and, you know, amazing ending. The second one, or Before the Storm, you know, it's like, it was a little weird, you know, the tell Rachel or don't tell Rachel thing, because who's not going to tell Rachel about her past, right? But then it's like, it's awesome montage if you choose the right choice, by telling Rachel, of her and Chloe, and it's just so powerful, you know, it's so cute and so awesome, and you love it until they do the dark room thing. I fucking hate that. Why was that in there? Anyway, don't worry about that. Just watch the credits as they're having, you know, Wolf Alice Bros, that's all you need to know. After that song stops playing, shut the game off. You don't need to see the rest. So great ending, right? Life is Strange 2 even. It was like, you know, I mean, yeah, there's some bad endings. I went into that. You know, they all felt like they had a lot going on to them, though. I will say this was like a pretty short ending, so maybe that's why I'm like, this is the bad ending, us leaving or whatever, but it felt thematic. I mean, she starts playing the song, and then I feel like no matter what, she's going to be playing the song, because she plays the song and then the credits start, and it's like supposed to be like she's playing the song in the credits, you know. Also, there was this like fucking licensed song, I don't remember the name of it. Pretty sure that was this episode and it wasn't the last episode, but it's like, it started playing and it was just like, wait a second, I've heard this song. I hear this song at work, you know, like, You don't expect to hear songs you hear at fucking work, you know, in a Life is Strange game. It's always like this indie music, and it's like, oh, this is like a big song. They put this in Life is Strange. It felt out of place. It was just crazy, but it worked. I mean, it was fine. I didn't mind it. It was just weird, you know. So there's things to like about this ending, but it's just, you know, after all we've done, it's just, I don't know. It resolved everything, sure, but it kind of felt like episode 1, you know, again, where it was just like, yeah, this is fine, you know, like, and maybe that's a reflection of the game as a whole, but honestly, I think episode 2, like I said, got a lot better, and then episode 3 is GOAT. I mean, that is definitely the favorite episode of all 5 of them. Episode 4 was really great as well. Then episode 5 is just like, yeah, this is alright, you know, this is pretty decent, you know, for an ending. You want like this big ending, but it's just like, yeah, that works, you know? My bulls, like, okay. Anyway, but you know, it's like, yeah, that's fine. This is fine. You know, the dog with like the burning house, this is fine. That's the episode 5 of Life is Strange. True Colors ending. No, it was good though. I didn't mind it. And yeah, you know, so I'm glad I played the game. I mean, it was a good game overall, and I definitely enjoyed it. Like if I was gonna give the game a rating overall, I'd probably give it like an 8.7, like a strong, you know, high 8, because I liked it a lot. I really did. I wonder what I gave Life is Strange 2, because I did like that game as well. But, you know, they just don't stand up anymore to the original and Before the Storm. And I know that's a really high bar, but it's like, I'm not disappointed in this game at all. I think it was pretty good. I didn't have any expectations going in, and I definitely enjoyed myself. It was always nice to get to see more of Steph. She's a great character, you know, ever since Before the Storm and stuff. And we'll get to see more of her in the Wavelengths DLC, so we'll see how that goes. And I think this new character, Alex, is a strong character. Despite my, I mean, it's not like confirmed that she's not trans, but you know, she could be. It's like there's no real narrative for it in the game. I wanted that, like, before I played the game, but it's like it didn't happen. You know, it's wishful thinking. But I knew that was a stretch to even consider, like. But you know, you had like pretty much every Life is Strange protagonist is like bi, if you think about it, like Max and Chloe, and you know, obviously we like to think of them as lesbians, but you also have the choice to date Warren, and Chloe dated that one guy, the weird guy. I hate that guy. I don't even fucking remember his name. Asshole guy from Before the Storm there. And then you have an option between a guy and a girl in Life is Strange 2 as well. And then in this game you have another option between Steph and Ryan there. So yeah, every Life is Strange protagonist is bi. Isn't that weird? I mean, it's not weird. That's cool. I'm glad, but you know, honestly, I prefer it to what most games do, and just like don't give you the option or whatever. It's cool. I don't, obviously it's great representation. I don't mind it at all, but yeah, this was good. I liked it. I enjoyed it, you know, this is great. So, strong entry into Life is Strange. I mean, by the merit, it is like maybe the least good one. I don't know. Life is Strange 2 had a lot of bad, not bad, but like less good episodes. I feel like episode 2 or 3 or whatever was kind of lacking, if I remember correctly. But it had a lot of good going for it too. I don't think there is a bad Life is Strange game so far, and I think they're all good for their own reasons. They're all really solid games. The first two, though, being a masterpiece. You know, I mean, when I say first two, obviously there's Life is Strange too, but I'm talking about Life is Strange and then Before the Storm. And even Farewell was pretty good. The Max and Chloe stuff is always good, you know. I mean, that's peak Arc, and I hope it continues to be with double exposure there. But yeah, True Colors is a solid addition to Life is Strange, and I'm glad I played it, and I'm glad it's done before the next game, you know. And now we'll have to play Wavelengths at some point, and then we'll be completely caught up on Life is Strange. Yeah, because I did the comics. I talked about the movies, which those girls commented on my movie videos that got like 11 views or whatever, which was fucking awesome and kind of mind-blowing, like big piece of Life is Strange history for myself. I mean, like, it is cool because they live like an hour and a half from me, like, you know. I could literally make like a road trip some week. I should do that. Just like make a road trip there to like go and see kind of where they might have like filmed this stuff. Cause like, it's cool, you know? It's like I could actually go there. It's interesting. It's just crazy. I can't even believe that. But unfortunately they're not making any more Life is Strange movies, which is sad. But you know, like, I can see him doing like True Colors. That could work, you know? That wouldn't be that hard. I mean, that'd be... This is like the easiest Life is Strange to like film or whatever. Like all the other ones have like time powers and shit. This just has like, oh, I'm reading your emotions. Your aura is a different color. You just draw that in post. It's easy, man. Not hard at all. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's just like the least like supernatural Life is Strange, and that's why it's kind of strange. Life. No, it's kind of just odd because it's like the only power she has is to read emotions, but I think it's a cool power too. I mean, I would love to have that power because, you know, half the time I'm just like, what is going on inside their head? That's a line from Inside Out. Anyway, yeah, so, yeah, I just, you know, I really did enjoy it. I think it's a more grounded and personal sort of Life is Strange. Every Life is Strange game is super personal, but you know what I mean. They all have their own little interesting things going on. Like, you know, Max has her time powers, and she has her own personal little thing looking for Rachel Amber there. You know, Before the Storm is like you building this relationship with Rachel Amber, and also like trying to just like not get kicked out of school, which you get kicked out of. That's just a beautiful game. I love that game. Honestly, that game is so good. Just thinking about it, like the play scene and just like, oh my god, her and Rachel and just, god, their relationship is so good. There's so many good emotional moments in that game. And it's like, that's what we're working with here. That's what we have to compare this game to. A great game, but I'm comparing it to Before the Storm, Rachel Amber, where you're like in her room trying to calm her down, and it's like this cozy vibe, but like also she's like sad, and like just moments like that are like insane. Or like when you're up on stage, like, you know, throwing Shakespeare at each other, and it's just like the gayest thing ever, and it's amazing, and it's just like that's what you have to contend with True Colors. It's like, you know, it's hard. It's difficult to live up to that, you know? And Life is Strange 2 as well. And yeah, that was a good game too, but it's just like, it's so hard to top these original games. And it's like the fucking Deck 9 made this shit, you know? And they're gonna make the next game. And, I don't know, that looks good too. So, I like this game. It's just, you're in the Life is Strange pantheon, and that's just a really high bar, you know? It's like being a Jurassic Park sequel movie, you know? Some of them are pretty good, you know, but like, some of them kind of suck, you know? But this is one that's a pretty good. Maybe that's a terrible example. Yeah, shit, I don't know. What's a good... It's like being one of the later Star Wars movies after the trilogy. Like, you have a few good ones, like, Revenge of the Sith, or you have, like Episode 7 or something, but I even like Solo. I thought that was pretty good, but, you know, nobody seems to like that one, or Rogue One was alright. I remember that being pretty hype at the time. Anyway, now we're just talking about Star Wars, so... It's no Life is Strange or Before the Storm, but it's still a great game in its own right, and it definitely belongs in this series of Life is Strange, which still hasn't made a bad game, in my opinion, and that is something that most game series can't say, you know? So I'm proud of it, you Life is Strange. Keep up your legacy of amazing games, and I will keep playing them. I'm a big fan, and I want to continue to be a big fan of your Life is Strange games. So don't fuck up Double Exposure, please, and make Wavelengths good. I'm sure it'll be good. It's got Steph. Steph's awesome. So anyway, yeah. Keep it classic. Stick around for more reviews, underrated games, more Life is Strange, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Emily, out.